Welcome to Eternal_Sovereign, your fresh haven where ageless wisdom meets modern insights. We're elated to see visionaries, dreamers, and seekers joining us. Here we explore knowledge, creativity, spiritual growth, all designed to inspire and resonate with your journey. As we start this voyage, a blessing. May wisdom guide, discovery thrill, unity strengthen us. We wish each viewer peace, growth. May this channel serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration source.
The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness has long captivated the minds of believers and skeptics alike. This ancient biblical prediction, which appears in the story of the 9th plague in Egypt, holds a mysterious and potentially terrifying message that resonates even in today's world. As society faces increasing turmoil, some wonder if this prophecy could be on the verge of fulfillment in our time. This exploration isn't just about revisiting the darkness that once engulfed Egypt. It's about examining a divine warning that might be relevant to our current and future world. The biblical account of the 3 days of darkness is found in Exodus 10:21-29. It describes one of the most ominous events in the Bible, the 9th plague that struck Egypt. This plague was part of a series of divine judgments intended to compel Pharaoh to release the Israelites from slavery. God instructed Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward the sky, and there will be darkness over Egypt, a darkness so thick that it can be felt." When Moses obeyed, darkness covered Egypt for 3 days. During this time, no one could see anyone else or move from their place. However, the Israelites, God's chosen people, still had light in their homes. The choice of darkness as a plague is significant and symbolic. In biblical literature, darkness often represents divine judgment and the withdrawal of God's presence. It's a symbol of God's displeasure and a tangible manifestation of chaos and despair. The darkness that enveloped Egypt was not just an absence of light. It was a palpable, overwhelming force that induced fear and disorientation. Imagine being in complete darkness, unable to see or interact with others for 3 days. This was the experience of the Egyptians, a nation thrown into confusion and terror. However, this darkness was more than just a physical phenomenon. It was a direct challenge to one of Egypt's most powerful deities, Ra, the sun god. In Egyptian mythology, Ra was the source of life, light, and order. By plunging Egypt into darkness, God was demonstrating his supreme power over Ra, effectively stating, "Your sun god is powerless against me. I control the light and the darkness." This act was a profound theological statement in a polytheistic society where various gods were believed to govern different aspects of nature. The God of Israel was declaring his absolute authority over all creation, dismissing the Egyptian gods as powerless. The distinction between the Egyptians and the Israelites during this plague is also noteworthy. While Egypt was cloaked in darkness, the Israelites had light in their dwellings. This contrast served as a powerful reminder of God's care for his people, even in the midst of judgment. It demonstrated that God's protection and favor were with the Israelites, highlighting their special status as his chosen people. This divine favor wasn't just about showing favoritism. It was a message to both the Egyptians and the Israelites that the God of Israel was unique. He had the power to judge, protect, and provide simultaneously. Despite the overwhelming evidence of God's power, Pharaoh's heart remained hardened. He attempted to negotiate with Moses, offering to let the Israelites go, but insisting that their livestock stay behind. This stubbornness highlights a tragic human tendency, the hardening of hearts against God's warnings. Pharaoh's resistance, even in the face of clear divine intervention, serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pride and the refusal to submit to God's will. It's a reminder that pride can blind us to the truth even when it's staring us in the face. In contrast, Moses demonstrated unwavering faith and obedience. He refused to compromise, insisting that not a single hoof be left behind. Moses' steadfast commitment to God's instructions serves as an inspiring example of faith in action. He trusted God's plan entirely, even when it meant confronting one of the most powerful rulers of his time. Standing firm like Moses requires courage, conviction, and a deep trust in God. Moses understood that partial obedience wasn't obedience at all. God's commands weren't negotiable. Many believe that the story of the 3 days of darkness isn't just a historical event, but also a prophecy that could repeat itself in the end times. Throughout history, various saints and mystics have spoken of a coming period of darkness that will engulf the world. This period is often interpreted as a time of divine judgment and a test of faith for believers. The question that arises is, could we be on the brink of experiencing our own 3 days of darkness? To consider this possibility, it's important to reflect on the parallels between our world today and the world of ancient Egypt. In many ways, we are living in a time of spiritual darkness. Like the Egyptians, we often place our trust in false gods, whether it be money, power, technology, or material success. As society drifts further away from spiritual and moral values, the world seems to be growing darker, both figuratively and literally. The increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters, moral relativism, and global unrest are seen by some as signs that we are approaching a critical moment in history. But what would the prophesied 3 days of darkness look like in our time? According to various interpretations, this event could manifest both literally and spiritually. Some envision a physical darkness, perhaps caused by a cosmic event or environmental catastrophe. Others see it as a time of great spiritual darkness, where evil appears to have free rein and faith is severely tested. This period could be a time of great tribulation for believers, challenging them to hold fast to their faith in the face of overwhelming adversity. If such a period of darkness were to occur, how should we prepare? The answer lies not in stockpiling physical supplies, but in strengthening our spiritual foundations. Preparation involves deepening our relationship with God through prayer, Bible study, and active participation in a faith community. It's about cultivating a heart that is responsive to God's will and ready to endure trials with unwavering faith. This preparation isn't just for our personal spiritual growth. It's also about building strong, supportive communities that can stand together in challenging times. The biblical account of the 9th plague teaches us valuable lessons about faith and divine protection. Just as the Israelites found light in the midst of darkness, believers today are called to be a light in a dark world. This means offering hope to those in despair, standing for truth in a world of deception, and showing kindness in a harsh environment. However, being a light in the darkness often requires going against the flow and standing out when it's more comfortable to blend in. It might mean facing ridicule or persecution, but the darker the night, the brighter even a small light shines. Pharaoh's stubborn heart serves as a warning to us all. His refusal to heed God's warnings, even in the face of clear signs, is a reminder of the dangers of pride and the importance of maintaining a soft, responsive heart toward God. A hardened heart doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of repeatedly ignoring conscience, rationalizing wrong behavior, and choosing self over God. The more we resist God, the easier it becomes to continue resisting, leading to spiritual blindness and separation from God. One of the most comforting aspects of the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is the reminder of God's sovereignty. Even in the darkest times, God remains in control. Just as He protected the Israelites during the plague of darkness, He promises to watch over His people in any challenging circumstances we might face. This doesn't mean we won't experience hardships, but it does mean that God will be with us in the midst of them. His presence provides light in our spiritual and moral darkness, guiding us through trials and tribulations. As we contemplate the possibility of this prophecy unfolding, it's important to focus on strengthening our spiritual resilience. This involves not only deepening our faith, but also fostering a sense of hope and trust in God's plan. Hope is a powerful force that enables us to face challenges with courage and perseverance. It's not just about looking forward to a better future, but also about transforming how we live in the present. When we hold on to hope, we inspire others to look beyond their current circumstances and find meaning and purpose in their lives. Throughout history, some of the most profound movements of God have occurred during times of great darkness. The early church, for example, grew despite intense persecution, and revivals have often broken out in periods of moral decay. Could it be that the coming darkness, if it indeed comes, will set the stage for an unprecedented move of God? This possibility serves as a wake-up call, urging us to be spiritually alert and prepared for whatever challenges may lie ahead. In conclusion, the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is more than just an ancient tale. It's a powerful reminder of the ongoing battle between light and darkness, both in the physical and spiritual realms. As believers, we are called to stand firm in our faith, trusting that God's light will guide us through even the darkest of times. Whether this prophecy unfolds in our lifetime or not, the message is clear. We must be ready, spiritually resilient, and hopeful, knowing that God's ultimate victory is assured. Faith in God is the guiding light that helps us navigate the challenges and changes of life. It is a source of comfort, hope, and strength, empowering us to persevere in the face of adversity. In a world full of chaos and doubt, faith is the anchor that keeps us steady, leading us to inner peace and true fulfillment. As we trust in God, we open the door to miracles and discover the deeper meaning of life. This faith is not only a spiritual support, but also a beacon of light, guiding us toward love, forgiveness, and everlasting hope. May God bless each of us with peace, love, and strength. May His guidance light our paths, and may His grace bring us comfort and hope in every moment. As we face the uncertainties of life, let us trust in His divine plan, knowing that His blessings are with us always. Let us be a light in the darkness, reflecting God's love and truth in all that we do.